Hello, welcome back to the Human Perspective. We're continuing our interviews of people who are visiting the United States from other countries to participate in the National Council on Independent Living's annual meeting and the summit. So I'd like to welcome Komal Yunus to our interview. And Kamal's a little bit nervous because this is the first time she's done an interview, but I know that there's no reason for her to be nervous. Were you born with your disability or did you acquire it?
No, I acquired it after my accident.
Okay. And how old were you?
I was 7 years old.
Okay. So, after that, what happened with your family and education?
Things got changed a little bit about my mobility, but my mom helped me a lot to deal with all the circumstances, and she enrolled me in special education school where I got my primary education, and after that I joined a general school for education, and until I completed all of my education in the general school.
So how much education do you have?
Currently, I'm pursuing my PhD in educational psychology.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. So tell us a little bit about some of the work that you've done. When did you start getting involved, actually working with disabled people?
In 2005, right after earthquake, I got a chance to meet my mentor Heumann. We worked together in earthquake-affected areas for the advocacy of rehabilitation of persons with disabilities and for the inclusive education of children with disabilities. We have created so many self-help groups in community to involve persons with disabilities and to raise the voices of persons with disabilities.
Maybe you could tell us what a self-help group looks like in Pakistan.
Okay, there were self-help groups comprised of different stakeholders, including persons with disabilities from the community, so that they can talk about their problems and they can raise their voices on that forum.
Raising their voices, I think that's probably very important.
Yes.
How were you able to encourage people to raise their voices?
We were doing peer counseling, and we did a lot of family therapies
and so you had a disability yourself?
Yes.
And I think there were other disabled people from Milestone and other organizations that were involved.
Yes.
So, do you know the word role model?
Yeah, imitation and modeling and
So do you think you and others are good role models for the people you were working with?
Yeah, we are trying our best to motivate other women with disabilities, other persons with disabilities to get involved in daily routine activities.
So what are some of the additional barriers that disabled women face in Pakistan?
Inaccessibility towards information,
the lack of accessible materials.
Inaccessible infrastructure.
So buildings that weren't accessible.
Yes.
And because many of the people had been injured during the earthquake, there was additional trauma. Is that fair to say? the community itself was facing trauma because their homes had been destroyed, and were you linking people to other social services?
Actually, at that time, there were a lot of organizations working for rehabilitation, and they were involved in reconstructions of their homes and their daily living. So we build different network regarding their reference to services so that they can avail their required services from the stakeholders.
So how do you think the work that you and others were doing helped people who are newly disabled?
We shared them about our issues and how we are facing our challenges and overcoming those challenges.
Do you have like a story of somebody who really, after their injury, was able to come back and do good work in their family community?
I also that you have learned about Munipa Mazari. And she is doing a lot for the advocacy of persons with spinal cord injury in national and international level.
So she's a role model because she has a spinal cord
We
injury.
have so many examples in our country.
Yeah, so give us a few more examples.
Like Abhay Akram, CEO of National Forum of Women with Disabilities, and one of my friend who has 3 children with developmental and physical disabilities. She has opened a school where she is providing free education and transportation to children with physical and developmental disabilities.
And there are how many students in this school?
Currently we have 42 students in our school, and some of them are orphans as well. So we are trying to convert, we are trying to reach our goal towards inclusion.
So I know Abia has been doing really fantastic work in Pakistan and with other disabled women in the region. What do you do with the organization Arise?
Under umbrella of RISE, we are doing peer counseling of children, peer counseling of families of children with developmental and physical disabilities. Same, we are trying to advocate different institutions, universities, healthcare centers for the rights and for the issues of person with disabilities. Same, we are providing a space where university students can come and learn a lot about children with, about the problems of children with intellectual and physical disabilities.
And do you think Arise is helping disabled girls and women? And give me a little example of...
Okay, most recently we have organized a national sports festival where we included women with disabilities from all provinces of Pakistan, and we provided them opportunity to participate. And under umbrella of RISE, we provided opportunity to women with disability to link them different vocational schools and institutes so they can get some type of skills training.
So helping the women be able to get skills of livelihood.
For their empowerment. Yes.
Livelihood is so very important for everybody around the world. So how did you get to the United States for this trip?
U.S. Embassy supported our visit, and we are 9 people from Pakistan, And my user played a very vital and important role for organizing our trip.
So if you think about the last 2 weeks,
Yeah, I've learned a lot, and yeah, I've learned so many different things about accessibility, about inclusion, about mainstreaming, and about development.
so do you feel when you go home you'll have more information to
Yes.
carry on this work?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for being brave enough to do this interview.
Thank you.
And now you'll be able to become a moderator. So thank you very much, Komal. I think it's a great story that you've been telling, and what's very important is how you continue to grow and share and empower. Thank